Hi, I'm Vanessa and welcome to my gym. Today we're going to be finishing up sewing our capsule wardrobe. Today we'll be focusing on tops and adding built-in bras as well as adding fun little additions. Let's get started. I know last week you saw all these tops were gonna be sewing up. It's because when I was making my bottoms and doing the video, I didn't have any cute tops to wear with it. So I remedied that and I refilmed with my new tops. And today I'm gonna show you how to make them. These tops are not only comfortable, but they are convenient. And those are two things that I like when I'm rummaging through my exercise clothes to find something to quickly get into and get down to my gym. So the top that I decided to use today is actually a free tank top pattern with Ellie and Mac, and I am so excited that I was able to do this with a free pattern, and you have no idea.
So before you get started, you need to measure your underbust and your overbust. The overbust helps you pick what pattern size to cut. And then underbust lets you know how tight your elastic needs to be. And then I measured from my shoulder to my underbust, and then I subtracted 1 inch to help give me a little lift. So my shoulder to my underbust was 13 inches, and then I subtracted 1. So you see me marking the 12 in chalk and then cutting it out. I'm cutting out the pattern just like normal around the shoulders and the neckline. But when I get to where it starts to flare out on the sides, because this is a sports bra, I'm actually coming in straight or a little bit at a curve to help give me a little additional support here. And so this is one thing you want to make sure that you have the right amount of support. And so just subtracting that 1 inch from your underbust as well as cutting it in just a little bit will help give it a little bit more a lift and control. And then the next measurement I took was where the cups of the bra I was wearing it was at. And so it was about 1.5 inches wide. And so I measured 3/4 of an inch from the center on both sides. And then I measured that I needed about 1 inch from the bottom to start my cups. Now you can easily make this tank top or this bra piece and then just chalk out where you like your cups at. But I wanted to have a way that I could measure to make sure that all my cups were in the same spot because I made this top over 4 times. And then you're just going to kind of press it down and pin it in. So when my cups are facing up like they are now, like they're curving up, it means that the cup is going to be placed at the front of the shirt and not against my body. Now, I kind of played with this back and forth because I know I'm going to be coming back and making more of these. And so with this shirt, I wanted them facing out, but I realized that the fabric was a little thinner and you can kind of see the outline on the finished product. And so on the other ones, I had it actually facing out towards my skin, and I can't tell the difference. But I know that other people who are a little bit more texture sensitive may not want these cups touching them. So you will definitely want to make sure that the cups are facing up. So they're going to be facing in between the shirt and the sports bra top. Now, as you can see, I chalked all the way around them as well as pinned them, and it may seem like overkill, but I wanted to make sure that I knew exactly where these were as I was taking out these pins. I also learned from making so many of these that if you start in the front and move up, you start in the same spot on the other side. Now I'm using a wide zigzag stitch, and with this slippery fabric like what I'm using, this is just like a normal compression athletic fabric. It doesn't get as, you may have like a little bit of, I want to say, pulling around where you start to where you finish, just because the elasticity in the shirt can cause that, in the fabric I mean. And so, I was just really kind to myself and just tried my best not to get any fabric that was pinched or anything, but it is a little harder. You'll see on my next one I used thicker fabric and it went on so nice and smoothly. So it is definitely a slippery fabric situation here. And so once you get the cups zigzagged on, then we're going to go back and cut the back of this shirt. And this is the sports bra part of it too. So we want to make sure that our sports bra has a front and back, even with it being built in, because we want to make sure we have that full support. Now, when I'm cutting the back of the shirt, the shoulder side of the back of the shirt is actually longer than the front. So if I was going to cut this at 12 inches, it's going to be too short along that side. So I just take my top in the front and I mark it where it is on the back, and I go straight as well. So you want to make sure that your sides are the same length going from the tip of the arm side down to the side is the same length at the front and the back. Now this is my outside fabric and I'm just cutting it really quickly. I actually did cut off the curve, and here I'm sewing down the center line, and then here I'm cutting out the front of the shirt. So I'm just removing that curve just so it's not so long, and I'm just sewing up the shoulder seams here. Here I'm showing you my curved hem pocket tank, and I'm laying over the sports bra that I have. Now, whatever side is on top here, so the cups, how they're laying on top, means that they're going to be on top facing the fabric. So that's now going to be the inside fabric between your tank top, so the cups will not be touching you. So I really couldn't decide which way I wanted the cup. So I'm going to show you again on this particular fabric. It's a little thicker, and as you can see, it does have the laser cut athletic fabric in it. And so I didn't want the cups. I thought that they would show through on this, so I decided to have them on the inside. Now, if this is going to bother you, but you know you have fabric like this, you can absolutely cut a lining fabric as well. You just want to make sure that you baste everything. So again, I'm lining up 3/4 of an inch from the center line. And then here I'm pushing the cup down. So the cup is going to be opening up towards the other side. And as you can see, the curve right there. And so I just press it down as hard as I can with my hand. I know. And then I'm going to be pinning it. And so I'm going to do this with both sides. And then here again, I'm using my front as a reference to the length that I want the side body of my back, so I can make sure that those sides are going to be lining up on the sports bra, but give me plenty of room for the arm side in the back as well as in the front. And so you're just going to be cutting that out. This time I cut it out on fold. I've been cutting the sports bras out on folds. There's not center seam. And after I sew on the cups, you can see how nicely these turned out. And so this actually works for like a perfect sports bra right here. And so if you would like to line it, you can. But I wanted this to kind of show like a sports bra, and it looks so cool here. It makes me so excited. So I learned this the hard way. I did have to unpick a few times. So you have the right side of your tank facing up, and then whatever side is up with your sports bra is what's going to be facing the fabric of your tank top. And so just make sure that you check that before you start sewing. So I had the cups facing upwards and the curving upwards at the top. And then when I sewed around my neckband, you can see that they are now facing upwards. And so I know that's a little bit hard to explain, but I hope that is clear. And what I love about having them facing up is that it actually looks like a sports bra in the inside. But if I were going to add the lining, I would just baste it onto the sports bra around the neckline, and then I would treat it as one again when I'm going around the neckline. Now, what I love about this hack is that it makes it really easy around the arm side. You're not going to have to bind it, nor are you going to have to add a band. We're going to burrito roll. And so you're rolling the opposite side around, and then you can take the front and back of the opposite arm side, and you're going to be clipping it all the way down. So this is your armhole, and you're just going to go from the back all the way to the front, adding your clips. So the best way I can explain this is like an X and Y axis. So when you're doing your neckband or neckline and you're sewing around, you're going along the X axis. So you can just flip it inside out, go around and flip it right sides together. But when we're dealing with the actual armhole, this is your Y axis. And so we have to treat it a little differently. Let me show you the rolling on the black top. So this top I was able to roll a little tighter. The maroon fabric is just a little thicker, and so it's a little hard to roll, as well as these added cups to make it a little difficult. But again, you're just rolling around, and then you're bringing the arm sides, and you're just clipping them right sides together with all the fabric in the inside. Now here is where we're going to be adding a little elastic into that arm side to help give us a little bit more support around our bust. So this is the ultra soft elastic. I've talked about this before. It's used mostly in like face masks, but I like to use it. It does not have latex, so if you have a latex allergy to, this is perfect for you. So I always start my elastic first so it doesn't get sucked into my machine, and then I'm pulling it at about 20%. So that means if I'm laying the elastic flat without stretching it at 10 inches, I'm only stretching it 2 inches of those 10. So it's just a slight stretch here. It's just to help give a little bit more support. And I'm just going to be going all the way around the arm side or armhole. And this is just a nice wide zigzag stitch. This is very similar like making a swimming suit where you just need to have the extra layers of support built in. And so I tried it without the elastic first, and then I decided that the elastic was very needed. And so because I use my zigzag stitch, I probably used it at 3mm because I had so many layers of thick fabric. Once I unroll it, you can see how it looks. I didn't actually take it to the serger. It held together really well. And so then I'm going to start burrito rolling the other side. And it's just really easy. Don't let this intimidate you. You just want to make sure that your wrong sides are out just like normal and your good sides are together, or right sides are together. And you're just going around the other side and make sure that you have the full armhole or arm size. So I know we've seen a lot of burrito rolling, but I just wanted to make sure that that was very clear. So once I have finished both sides, now it's time for me to close up my side seams. So I'm going to be closing up the side seams of my top as well as closing up the side seams of my bra. But I'm making sure that the bra is closed up separately. So I'm just pulling the bra up and over the top, and then I can easily serge those two separately. And you can see here at the serger as I'm going, this is just the top fabric right here. And then once I get past the top fabric, we're going to be going into the shiny fabric. So the sports bra just lifts right up and over. You want to make sure that your elastic on the arm side is nice and together so you get an even spot at the seam at the bottom of your underarm. And then you're just going to be serging up the sports bra. Now, you guys have seen this fun elastic when I was talking about the different elastics, to what elastic not to use. And this one is really fun. It has this cute little design on it, but I liked the stitching on it because it kind of, I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like having a clear elastic where it's kind of holding to your body. So I kind of played with this. On some of the tops I had it next to my body, so I made sure that my sports bra did not fly up. And then on the other ones I decided to have it down so it looked like a sports bra. So I kind of played with this quite a bit. And so you can too, and you can decide if you would rather use just a non-decorative elastic as well. So if you're going to use just like a plain 1-inch elastic, you're just going to expand or elongate your sports bra by 2 inches. So you can just roll, you can sew it on and you can roll it up and cover the elastic. So that is definitely an option as well if you would rather just use regular elastic. But because I bought this elastic and I thought it would be really fun, but the stretch is not fantastic on it, so I didn't want to use it on an actual waistband because I wasn't for sure if it would be comfortable or if it would irritate my stomach having a not stretchy elastic around my waist. So those are definitely the options for you to try, but you're just going to be stretching this on. And my elastic is stretched on. My underbust measurement when I started was 27 inches. And so I cut it at the 24 inches because I felt like that would give enough stretch to hold it down in place but still be comfortable. Once I finished with the sports bra, adding the elastic, all there is left to do is, of course, roll hem the bottom of this top. But because I was able to line the neckband as well as burrito roll the arm side, this was all the hemming that I had to do. So it was really fun. I just serged around the edges, and then I did a 1/4 inch rolled hem all the way around with an elongated zigzag stitch. Okay, so here's my embarrassing story. A long time ago when I had 2 toddlers, I was going to miss my yoga class, but my husband said, no, just go. And so I quickly just threw on some leggings and a sweatshirt, and I got hot. And when I took off my sweatshirt, it took off my workout shirt as well. And I realized I was sitting there in my push-up bra doing yoga after like a minute. So when I saw this Katharina hooded bolero, I was so excited. I'm like, I actually do need this just in case I do something embarrassing. And so I did absolutely make a few of these to go with all my yoga tops because, as I have said, I do get cold. And again, I have remembered that for like the past 10 years. So I was very excited to make this pattern. As you can see, it comes together very easy. It's definitely one of those quick sews. It's a dolman, and so you're just going to be adding on the sleeves. And then you're going to take your neckband with right sides up and fold it over. And then the other side is going to fold over that side with right sides together. Take it to the serger, and then your neckband is ready to go. So you're going to make sure you find the back of your shirt at the center and add the seam. And then you're going to take the front of the shirt with the dip, and that is your front side. So here I did add 2 clips, but you're probably better off quartering it. And then you're going to serge around the neck line as well as from the side seams all the way up the sleeves. And once you're there, all you have to do is add on the cuffs. So again, this is so fast. So just like the neckband, I have it right sides up, and I fold one side over the other side, and I take it to the serger. And then I'm going to be stretching it on my sleeve. Make sure that the seams of your cuff matches the seams side seams of your shirt, and then you're going to clip it around just like it is a neckband. And you're going to do this on both sides of your sleeve and then serge it down. Now once I got these on and I clipped it, then all I had to do was roll hem that bodice at the front and the back, and it was so easy. Look how adorable this looks. Now with my lighting and my camera, you can see those little cup triangles. You cannot see it without my insane lighting, but just so you know, I probably should put the cups on the inside like I did with this top. And oh my goodness, I love this athletic fabric. I've made a few things with it, and so I was very excited to do it again. You can see that my sports bra works with a bend over. It worked perfectly. Now here I also made it in a light pink with a matching bolero with the sports bra built in.
I just feel like these 2 patterns are definitely meant to be together. Now, for my last top that I made, I actually just wanted something that had sleeves. I do have some exercise bras, and I wanted something that I felt very comfortable in, and it's a pattern that I know how to make very easily. So this is the Elena baby tee to make the perfect fitted top, just for those days where I just want to look a little extra cute with a fitted top, but I don't want my full arm showing. So let me show you all the details with that.
Again, this pattern comes together so fast. You just want to make sure that you do measure your upper bust and then your waist, and you may need to ease out at your waist a little bit. I love a cap sleeve. I cannot tell you how much I love them. They are so cute. I did cut the scoop neck, and then this has the sway back option as well. And I'm just showing you how fast this pattern is coming together. I've made it quite a few times, and it's really easy. So here's the neckband being stretched on. I always cut a 2-inch waist neckband, and then I'm closing up the side seams right here. After that, I'm going to add on the sleeves, and it is so fast. So here I'm serging around the bottoms of all of this as I'm going, so I can easily come and roll hem afterwards. And the serge does not come out because it's locked in place. So there I'm adding the sleeves, and once I add on both sleeves, it's to my sewing machine to roll hem all of those. So I do about a 1/4 inch rolled hem all the way through. And here's another instance where really good lighting and really good camera shows everything. It's great for wrinkles, but not so much for showing patterns. But I love how this top turned out.
So there you have it, all my cute tops to go with my very comfortable workout pants. I have loved building this mini capsule just because I really don't think you need to be uncomfortable to get to the gym. And this is going to be so easy to find some clothes, especially with the built-in bras. I always have such a hard time finding ones that are not either loose at the bottom or I feel like I'm dislocating my shoulder trying to get them off. That is going to be the biggest lifesaver of the day. I hope you enjoyed this video and has inspired you to make some of your own workout clothes. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. But more than anything, have an amazing time sewing. Thanks again. Catch you later.